today. And once again, I'm restoring headlights using liquid polymer. Let's go. So we have a Mazda 3 2013. And as you can see, this headlight is kind of decent, although I can see the clear coat starting to peel on some of the areas there. But we check out the one that's on the right side, or the left side, the driver's side. This one is, yeah, this one's really bad. So you can see there, a lot of oxidation, a lot of gunk, and just really nasty looking. So figured I'd do both. So I'm gonna start off with this one first, and then, you know, do that one. So we'll get to see how that compares once it's done to the ones that's kind of decent. All right, let's get started. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, of course, mask around the headlight, because when you're sanding, you don't want to rub up against the corners of the bumper. You know, you will cause damage, and that's something you don't want to do. So, and if you have automotive tape, I would encourage you to use it, just because it is way stronger than regular painter's tape. It's going to take more hits from your sanding pad if you do end up rubbing against it, and it's also more water resistant. So use automotive tape if you do have some. Okay, so the masking is done. I'm gonna grab my drill, my attachment, I'm gonna grab my, actually this one already has it, my attachment here. And like I mentioned, since this headlight is pretty bad, I'm gonna use 320. I'm gonna use 320 grit, 320, and sand away. Got the liquid polymer in there, heating up the cup. Once it starts to boil, put the lid back on and start shooting the polymer. So let's just wait. There's a couple different versions of this atomizing cup. Some take a little bit more time to heat up than others. This one has been working out just fine for me, so I'll leave a link down below where you can actually get it. When you're vaporizing your polymer, make sure your straw does not hit the headlight, otherwise you'll leave a scratch mark. You can't really get rid of it only by sanding and redoing the polymer again. And as we proceed here with our polymer, you'll notice we had a drip coming from our straw there. So we'll talk about that next. As you may have seen, we did have a little situation where a drip of the polymer actually got on the headlight. And stuff like this can actually happen when you're tilting your cup forward. We didn't actually tilt it. Looks like there may have been some buildup polymer inside the little hose there. So we need to correct this issue, but the good thing about this is that we can get away with spot sanding as opposed to hand sanding the whole headlight again. So we're going to finish the headlight and correct our minor issue as soon as we've done so. In order to correct our little issue here, I'm going to take 1200 grit followed by 1500 grit, and once again just blend it in with polymer, and it should blend in pretty easily here, so you shouldn't have an issue. It looks like polymer is actually very forgiving when it comes to stuff like this, which is great because I really cannot see myself redoing an entire headlight due to a small defect or correction that needs to be made. And here's our finished product. It looks really nice, 100 times better than what it was, that's for sure. We're gonna compare it to the passenger side. Passenger side is half decent, still got some damage on it. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna hit the passenger side and see what we're working with. And I actually got ahead and started off with 400 grit sandpaper here as opposed to 320, which is my usual go-to. And I wanted to show you these shiny spots on the headlight. And that is the previous coating is still on there. So if we were to do the regular process, the usual process, and hit it with the polymer, these spots, shiny spots where the previous coating is, wouldn't actually absorb
the polymer, so you would have a problem with that there. So you gotta make sure you remove all previous coatings. Your sanding needs to be dull, nice and even before you apply your polymer. So I'm gonna go back to 320 grit and move up the grits up to 1500. I usually do 2000. I think it looks slightly smoother than the 1500, but 1500 is still acceptable. So we're gonna hit it with 320 all the way up to 1500 and then finish it with our polymer. At this point, we're ready to atomize our polymer, but one thing to notice, make sure your headlight is dry. If you have compressed air, that would be great because you can hit all the nooks and crannies and crevices out of each corner of the headlight. If you don't, if you have a microfiber cloth, that'll also do the trick if that's all you have at hand. And just like that, we have almost brand new headlights again. Let me know down below, guys, if this is content you want to keep watching, you want to keep learning with me, you want to keep interacting with. Let me know down below and I'll keep the content coming. As usual, this is Jared signing off. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.